harnessing our intuition is an important part of the intellectual process, and our intellect needs that information coming in from the intuition. And to access that intuition, we need inner silence. We need to provide ourselves inner silence. And a side effect of that inner silence is this process of reflection. So, what is reflection? Why do we need to do that? You can see that there's this image of a iceberg there. Our intellectual self, is made up of many layers of our mind. What we see at the topmost layer of the iceberg, what is visible, is our conscious mind. And further below, when you look at it, the deeper layers of the iceberg are the subconscious mind and the unconscious mind. And when we understand this, we also need to understand that there is just one iceberg. There are not many icebergs. It's just from the perspective of the viewer, we are saying the part of the iceberg that is visible and the part that is below the water. Similarly, there is just one mind. Mind that is involved in day-to-day thinking, mind that is involved in deeper thinking. It's just one mind. But when we are trying to understand the mind, we are saying conscious mind, subconscious mind, unconscious mind. So it's just a way for us to break it up so it's easier for us to understand. And another analogy is if we say we have a home, and then we say, oh, I have a home, and then I have a bedroom, I have a guest bedroom, then I have a hall, and then I have a kitchen. To somebody looking from outside, it's just a home, just a house. But when I'm using it regularly, this sort of separation allows me to organize myself, allows me to understand how I want to use my home. So it's the same concept with the mind. We just are making these distinctions for our ease and our understanding. So reflection is the process that allows us to understand what is below the water. So reflection allows us to go deeper and understand our own subconscious mind, our own unconscious mind. And it is this subconscious mind and unconscious mind that drive us, whether we are aware of it or not. Most of the time, we may have very good intentions. New Year is just coming around the corner, and most of us will make New Year resolutions. They don't last beyond January. And the reason for that is the resolutions are being made with our conscious mind, but it is our subconscious mind and unconscious mind that is driving the process of getting through to the resolutions. So, reflection allows us to understand our deeper inner motivations, what is stopping us, what is motivating us, or what are the things that we need to fine tune. And very often, it's our belief systems that we may have seen from our childhood. We may have even inherited it as part of our ancestral or cultural or geographical belief systems. So, understanding this, it allows us to reframe our own inner subconscious mind and unconscious mind. So that is the reason why reflection is very important. The question now is there a right way of reflection? What if I were to look at a situation, keep thinking about it, provide myself some space, go out, find quiet time, and keep thinking about it? Is there a right way of a reflection? And most importantly, is there a wrong way of reflection? If I am constantly brooding about something, this didn't go right, that didn't go right, that is not reflection. That's just judgment. And we do that. We judge ourselves a lot, we judge others a lot, we judge situations a lot. And that is not reflection. So that's the first distinction I want to make. The second is initially, as I am starting to reflect on a situation, I may end up starting with thoughts of brooding or feeling bad, feeling sad, feeling upset, and even judging others. I may start off with that. If I continue that process of reflection, just with self-compassion, with self-acceptance, with self-love, uh, I will start shifting in that process of reflection. And I want to give the example here of digging a well. I think those who are coming from India will be very familiar with the process of digging a well. And other countries, you may understand it as digging maybe a oil well, for example. So, what happens when we are digging the well? First, we start with digging through the mud. And as we are digging, the mud is going to come all over everybody's face. And then we will start hitting gravel. And that will slow down the process, but it is still doable until we finally hit hard stone. Sometimes the stone is hard, sometimes it is soft. So that is that bedrock of stone. And sometimes that mud, the first layer of mud, may be loose soil, sometimes it may be sticky clay. So depending on what kind of soil it is. So loose soil will fly around everywhere, but clay will not fly around, especially if it is hard, dried up clay will not fly around everywhere, but it's going to be harder to go through that, dig through that. Then you get the pebbles, and then you get that bedrock of stone, and sometimes the stone is hard, sometimes it is soft. And if we keep going through that, then you hit the sweet water or the oil, whatever you're digging for. So, this is the process of digging for something that is buried deep inside. And that is the same process that we are going to use for reflection. So, initially, we may start off with judging and feeling bad, feeling sad, blaming others, having regrets about ourselves, revisiting that entire situation and feeling bad about it. And then slowly, it will start shifting to pebbles, and that's when it becomes deeper. It is painful to go through that. And this is the time that we need to practice a lot of self love and self acceptance. With that self love and acceptance, that awareness, oh, uh, I approach this situation in this way, and being brutally honest, that's not always comfortable. So, looking at the situation and saying, I approached it this way all along. This is what I thought this is going to be, but there's another perspective to it. So, that willingness to see the other perspective from somebody else's lens, or maybe a better way of doing it, opens up only when I continue that process of reflection. So, that is like going through the stones, the pebbles. And sometimes little bit of change takes place. And I cannot, and if you have dug a well, you know that you cannot dig the entire well in one sitting. So, what is a good process is whatever I have dug through the hole, it's a good idea to place a pipe or something else to anchor that whatever I have gone through, so that everything doesn't close up again. If I don't put that pipe in, it will close, and then I'll have to repeat the process all over again the next time. So, the same thing happens with the reflection. When I do a session of reflection, it's a good idea to anchor whatever insights I have got so far. And the way to do that is through journaling or through taking any action, just one action. So we're continuing with the example. So putting that a pipe in so it doesn't close up, we can do that with journaling or taking action. Any action helps us to integrate our insights into us. So this is something that will be very helpful to us. So when people talk about journaling is good. Journaling is good when it only when it is attached to the process of reflection. Journaling just for the sake of journaling is not going to be helpful. It needs to go hand in hand with the reflection. And sometimes we can have reflection without journaling as long as I'm able to hold on to it. And I realized this very late because I was a bit lazy. I used to get lots of insights, and my favorite time of reflection is when I'm in the kitchen. So I'll be cooking or cleaning or whatever it is, and my mind will be just going through the reflection process, different things, and I would get lots of insights, and I would never journal them, and I used to lose a lot of insights. Another a good time for reflection is when we are having a shower or when we are in the bathtub because our body is very relaxed. So it's very easy to get insights at that point in time. It is a good idea to anchor your insights somewhere, either a digital notebook or a piece of paper, and then you change it over. Or the best thing is to do that reflection and then immediately um, take it through and into an action. So the moment you have acted on it a few times, it becomes a part of you. It's just like a new recipe. You pick a recipe, you need to look at the notes of the recipe the first few times. After you have done that, use that recipe a few times, then you are comfortable with it. You don't need to hold on to the recipe notes. It's the same way with a reflection as well. So try this and let me know. So, how do we know that this process of reflection is working? How do we know that? Firstly, how do we know it's not working? And that we need to go continue that digging in process some more. If I end up feeling upset, if I end up feeling like I'm with the regrets, with the blame, if I end up feeling like I want to punch somebody in the nose, if I would end up feeling like I need to fight the entire world or give up and just hide in my corner, all of those things are signs that we need to continue the reflection process further. I'm not saying that you will not have these things as you are reflecting. These are like the mud and the pebble that's coming up as you are reflecting, as you are digging the well. And these are part of that process. So continue, persist through this, and then you're going to get painted cool water or oil or whatever you're digging for. And once you are consistently able to reflect on something, the insights that you are going to get are something that you can take action on. They are something that's going to help you make sense of the situation that you have come out of or still in. They are also going to give you motivation, energy to push through whatever is your problem. So, so let me give you a simple example. For me, I know that going through all this, so last year I set up all my social media accounts. I know that a website is very important. I took an enormous amount of time to think of the website, to put that website, and I had huge challenges and problems getting the website up and running. The people that I was attracting to do that, they were having all sorts of problems, issues. It was getting delayed. I was not having clarity. And all the while, I just felt, oh, there is a resistance within me. I don't know what's happening. So I was working through all of that resistance, inner resistance, to see something is happening here. Why am I not able to get my thoughts around it? So I was doing all of this inner work. And finally, I had a friend with whom I was exchanging coaching sessions. and she coached me through this process, and I realized that the resistance was okay. There was a inner resistance, but mainly it was my belief system. And this is sometimes like a blind spot. We don't see our own belief systems until somebody helps us to see them, which is where the coaching comes in handy. So she helped me to see that it was actually my perfectionism that was my resistance. So digging through and saying, I need to have this perfect looking website. And I also realized that there is no website that's perfect, and we need to keep revisiting it. And it just grows with you. It's like your home, it just grows with you and how you want to use it at that point in time. So, mind you, I knew all this intellectually. I knew these ideas intellectually, but I didn't know it in practice, in my own practice for my website. As a result, I was struggling, and then I was saying, oh, there is some resistance. So, a lot of digging deep within helped me to uncover this stumbling block. And how did this resistance work out? Whenever I would think of working on my website and putting this together, my to do list for my website was becoming longer and longer, and I was feeling less and less motivated. It just felt very heavy. And I also felt I'm not getting this person, I'm not getting that person. So I was like blaming others. This is not the right person. This is not this particular website where I can get freelancers is not good. But so I was looking outside and I was looking inside, but I was not getting the right answers. The moment I was able to hone in and see perfectionism is the thing that I need to work on, immediately, immediately my intellectual uh, belief systems all moved away. I was able to start taking action. It's still not done yet, but at least I don't feel heavy anymore thinking about it. And I've got a whole series of things that I can do, small chunk it down to small action steps. So all of this is possible when I'm able to be honest and be coachable. So, what happens if I don't have a coach? It's perfectly all right. We can coach ourselves. And this is one tip that I have learned, and it's you can try it out yourself. Take a say you want to set aside time to do your reflection and you want to work on it. Find two chairs facing each other and just put on one coach and put on the other your name. And you start with sitting on the chair with your name, and then start saying, this is the problem, this is what I want to reflect on. And then physically get up from there, move to the other chair. And then at that point in time, you are no longer thinking about the problem as yourself. You're wearing the hat of a coach, and then you just ask one or two questions. So there's no deep insights the coach will give. The coach will only ask questions. What do you think about it? What do you feel about it? Tell me more. Whatever are the questions. And once the questions are asked, you just physically get up, move to the other side, and you can then move on to reflect on it. And you can set aside time, maybe a weekly session with yourself, or a fortnightly or a monthly session with yourself, and you can continue it in this way. So this is something, I hope this is useful. Reflection is something that's very, very powerful in helping ourselves be the best we can be. So thank you for joining me. Bye bye. Namaste.